Hey, how's it going? It's Ollie here. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about setting goals for 2022. And if I hadn't said it to you already, Happy New Year. It's really exciting to actually be in the start of a new year again. And I'm thinking about my goals. What do I want to achieve? What do I want to create this year? And I know you're probably thinking about this too. So in spite of, obviously, challenges we're going to have this year, right? Challenges we had last year and the year before, you can still make this an incredible year. Right? This is why I love the beginning of the year, because we can turn it into anything we want. And it really all starts with setting the right goals and then actually sticking to them. So how do you set good goals? Why do you need to set goals? Well, really, the point of a goal isn't necessarily to actually achieve the goal. The point of a goal is to give you something exciting to move towards to get you some momentum. That's the point of a goal, really. Whether you hit it or not actually doesn't matter so much. It's just more important that you have the goal in the first place, so you have a direction you can move in, and then you might find you'll actually tweak and adjust the goal as you go. But the point is to set a decent goal in the first place. So how do you do that? Well, the first thing to realize is that you need to understand what a goal is. So step one is to understand that really a goal is just a feeling. That's what it is. It's a feeling you want to experience in the future. Like, if you really break it down, why do you want to earn more money? Why do you want to quit your job? Why do you want to have a business? Why do you want to have a bigger house? Or a smaller house, or a house in a different location? Why do you want more freedom? Why do you want to be able to travel? Well, those material things would be nice, but really the reason why you want all that stuff is because it would feel good. You would have less stress. You would have more fun. You would be more excited, right? These are all feelings. So really all a goal is a feeling that you want to experience in the future. So if you're ever having trouble figuring out what you want to set as your goal, start with the feeling. What feeling do you want to experience? Do you want to be happier? Okay, we all do, right? So what does happier mean to you? It might mean that you should look at your life and figure out what things are making you unhappy right now and how could you change them? What things could you remove from your life that are causing you stress? And hopefully that would make you happier. So once you've figured out how you want to feel, then you can get clearer on what type of goals you need to set to experience those feelings in the future. So once you're clear on how you want to feel, next we need to figure out how to actually make that happen. So obviously, in order to do these things, in order to maybe quit your job or live somewhere else or earn more money or whatever, we need a certain amount of monthly income to make that happen. Now, I usually focus on two different goals in terms of monthly income with new clients, right? So the first of these two goals will be what I call your maintenance. So this is enough money to be able to live, right? So you want to pay your living expenses, travel, food, and all essentials. So this is when you become self-sufficient and you're actually able to pay for your lifestyle with your business. This is an amazing first goal to set. So it might take a little while to actually figure this out. You have to sit down, figure out how much you spend on everything every month, right? And this might be new for you if you've never done it before. It might be a new experience. And just get a number written down on paper, how much you need to break even with your current lifestyle. So let's say you do this and you realize that it's £3,000 a month, for example, right? To pay for living expenses, to pay for travel, food, bills, family costs, whatever else. Now, you'll have this figure, and one thing you can do is you can actually make it lower. Like if you simplify your life a little bit, let's say you move somewhere else, or you cut back on some unnecessary expenditures, you could actually reduce this number a little bit to make it more attainable. But once you've got the figure, that's a great place to start. Because now we know exactly what you need to do to be able to sustain yourself. Now, a quick note about once you hit this goal. So I hit this goal, it was about 4 or 5 months into my journey as I was building my Amazon business in 2015. I think it was around about May or June. I started to generate about £3,000 or £4,000 a month in profit. And that was like way more than I'd ever had. In fact, the most I'd ever earned at a job was about £1,000 a month in a bar on a 0-hour contract. So this was, I was like rich at that time in my head. And it's the most liberating feeling ever, right? Going back to feelings, goals being feelings. It's so liberating because now you know you're in control of your destiny, right? You've got everything covered. You're able to pay for your own lifestyle. Now, magical things happen if you have a job and you're making enough from your business to cover all of your expenses at once, right? And what happens is now you've got double the amount you need because you've got the earnings from your job plus it again from your business. So then you have an option. You could quit the job or you could keep building the business. And this is just an amazingly freeing place to be. And I've seen clients do this where the Amazon business or whatever business they're building starts to surpass the amount they're making at the job. It's just the most amazing feeling ever. And you just have so much freedom at this point. So that's the first goal you should have in terms of finances. Second goal you should have is the big number. The big number. So there's the maintenance number that just covers your expenses. The big number allows you to have fun, right? And I recommend making this number pretty big. Now, my big number in my first year of building my Amazon business, 2015, was 10K a month profit. That's what I wanted to make each month. That was my big number. The reason why is because I knew for a fact if I had that much money coming in, I could do anything I wanted. I could travel, I could stay in hotels wherever in the world, 5-star hotels. I could rent anywhere on the planet. I could have extra money to buy fun things and travel and go on trips and stuff. And I just knew if I had that, it would be way more money than I even needed. All right, and I could give money away and you know, that was my goal. So why are we setting this big number? Well, obviously it's because, going back to the goal, we want you to feel these fun things. And we want you to be excited, we want you to be happy, we want you to have some freedom and all that stuff. But we're not there yet. In fact, the more important reason is because we want this goal to really excite you and motivate you. So don't just pull a number out of the air. Have a think about the things you want to do, the things you want to feel in the future, and then come up with a number that would enable you to do those things and feel those feelings. And once you've done that, you'll have enough drive to actually build the business, because here's the thing that you already know, right? Building a business is not easy. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. It's harder than being in a job in many ways because you have more pressure on yourself. You're the one who has to stay motivated, right? You set your own targets. You have to get up in the morning and work when no one's telling you to do that. You have to do a lot of self-development, have to learn new skills. It's hard. So the reason we need to build this really big goal is so you've got enough emotional energy to actually take the steps and do the work and stay motivated, right? That's why we need to have this big number. So as you're doing this goal session, you should have a maintenance number and a big number for what you want to achieve. Once you've done that, we need to reverse engineer it and figure out what steps you need to take to actually get there. So with Amazon, if you're going to be launching private label products, then it's safe to assume each product could generate you £1,000 a month in profit. Right? That's a pretty fair assumption. Now, some products do way more, some products do way less, but that's like a pretty fair assumption. So if you want to make 3K a month for your maintenance, then you need to launch 3 products. If you want to hit 10K a month for your big number, then you need to launch 10. And you need to come up with a list of steps for how to get there. Now, your list of steps right now could be incorrect, right? You might come up with a list of steps And if I was to look at them, I'd go, you've done this wrong. But that's okay, right? Because really you can only do as good as you can with what you've got. So do some research, come up with a list of steps. In fact, there's plenty of tutorials on my YouTube account which will guide you and tell you what steps you need to take to help you out. And just come up with a list of steps. So this week you can get started on step 1. Now, as you're making this list of steps, you're gonna start to feel a little bit overwhelmed probably, because you're gonna realize how much you need to do to get from where you are now to hitting the big goal. And that's perfectly normal, but just focus on one step at a time, because each individual step actually is very easy and very simple to accomplish as long as you've broken it down. So once you've got your list of steps, you've reversed engineered your goals. The final thing to do is to start implementing your goals and revising and tweaking them every 90 days. So you're going to have your list of steps, you're going to start getting moving, you're going to start moving towards these goals. The year's going to move past really quick. Before we know it, we're going to blink and it's going to be April, right? The start of quarter 2. 90 days will have passed. Now, you could have absolutely crushed it in those 90 days and got loads of progress. Or something could have happened and maybe blown you off track and you realise, oh man, I've wasted a few weeks. So that's when you look at the goals again and you revise them. You say to yourself, was I too ambitious, trying to hit my big goal in 6 months? Or maybe I've moved faster than I thought I would, right? I wanted to hit my maintenance goal in a year and I'm actually already halfway there. You have to take 2 pieces of data and put them side by side. Your goals and your step-by-step plan, and the results you've got so far. You have to compare them and see how close they are. Now, the more passionate and focused you are this year, the closer your 2 pieces of data will align. In fact, you could actually overtake your goals with your results. In 2015, my goal was to hit 10k a month in profit by the end of the year, and I did it in November. So I was fully on track for hitting the goal, and it really is crazy. As long as you take this stuff seriously, it's crazy how fast you can move when you're building a business. Like, you will surprise yourself, right? But only if you create really solid goals, you get excited about them, you create your plan, and then you put it to work. If you do that, you could have a conversation with me in 12 months telling me how amazing the year was. If you fail to set goals, there's absolutely no chance you're going to hit anything, right? It's like trying to find somebody's house without using GPS. Like, you're just going to be going around in circles. Yeah, you might drive really far, right, for hours, but you've got no destination. So spend this week, spend some time setting some goals. Should only take half an hour, 45 minutes. Do what I do. Go to a very inspiring place and sit there and do it. In Stockholm here, there's a place called the Moderna Museet, which is a museum. They have a cafe with wall-to-ceiling windows with views of all the ships in Stockholm and the Nordiska Museum. You can see the whole of Strandvägen, and it's just an amazing view, and I just sit there, and that's where I would do my goal setting, because I feel inspired in that space. So find a place where you feel inspired and use that energy to set your goals. All right, hope this was a helpful video for you. Hit like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Check out some of my other videos, plenty of tutorials on how to build your Amazon business. And I can't wait to hear your success stories throughout 2022. All right, have an amazing year. We'll catch up very soon.